Hi, welcome to Dwayne's Guitar Lessons. I'm instructor Dwayne Jenkins. In today's video, we're going to talk about a few chord things that you might see in books and on tablets, your internet, stuff like that. Some alternate chords that kind of build off of some of our natural chords. Like for instance, our C/B. Sometimes when you're looking at sheet music, chord shapes, things like that, you'll come across chords that'll say things like, it'll say a C, then there'll be a slash, and then have a B. Or it'll be like a D/F sharp, okay? Or it'll be maybe an A minor/G, okay? So in this video, I'm gonna explain to you what that means, all right? Let's take a look. Okay, so what we're talking about is how we add little inflections to the chord, so to speak, okay? Like I was saying, if you might be looking at a song, maybe in a book, or you're looking at it on tabs on the internet, and you see those chords where it's like a chord, like a C, there's a slash, and then there's another letter, like a B, for instance, okay? So let's just give an example of that. This is our C chord, it's our natural C chord. We have our third finger on the 5th string, 3rd fret, second finger on the 4th string, 2nd fret, and our first finger on the 2nd string, 1st fret. Okay, that's our natural C chord. Now, if the next chord is a C/B, that means we're going to add this note right here. That's our B. It's kind of a C chord with the B over the top, like in the low end. Okay, so now we're going. Or you could go. Doesn't really matter, you know, everybody's fingers a little different, and that's kind of up to you to figure out what is best for you, okay? But what you're doing is you're adding this note in the chord, okay? So C, and then there's a B, okay? And that's a really common thing in rock guitars, so I would highly recommend that you get that because it's pretty popular in a lot of songs, okay? Or you might do something like that, okay? So that's like a C9, and then you add a B. So you notice how you're adding that note, okay? So, like for instance, here's an example of this. In CCRs, have you ever seen the rain? They do a C, C, E, and then go to the A minor, and then actually A minor add G, but we'll look at that in a second. So, C, add the B, and then go down to A minor, okay? So like in that song, he's going, have you ever seen the rain? And you can tell that when he says seen and he adds that B, it kind of emphasizes that word. It goes, you know, because if you just said, have you ever seen the rain? You could do that too, but by adding that B, it kind of emphasizes that word. Have you ever seen the rain? Okay, so that's what that means. C/B would be adding this note into the chord, okay? Kind of like a passing tone, so to speak. All right, and in this particular progression, you'd be going C, B, A minor, okay? And a progression, if you don't know, a chord progression is a series of chords in a sequence, okay? So for instance, this would be a chord progression. C, C/B, B over the top, and then the A minor, okay? And then in that particular song, they also do another chord embellishment, which is they add this note here, which is the G, okay? So it's like C, C/B, A minor, and A minor/G, which you'd have to use your pinky, okay? And if you don't have your pinky involved, I highly recommend you get it going because it makes a big difference when you're trying to add variations to chords. Like right here, if you're adding that A minor and you want to add that G in there, I guess you could do it here too. But it's usually in the lower note. Usually when you see that note after the slash, it's usually the lower note. So you wouldn't really want to add it here. You'd want to add it here. And this is your G. And this is another reason why it's good to know your notes. And I've mentioned this many times in my videos that you want to learn your notes. Very, very important, okay? So make sure you know your notes. If you don't know them yet, I'll leave a link to that video down below. I always leave links down below, so be sure to check that. And you can watch that video on, you know, how to find your notes. But I highly recommend learn your notes. This is a particular reason why, okay? So let's say we had an A minor/G. What would that mean? Well, that would mean our A minor, which is our A minor chord right here. We have our second finger on the 4th string, 2nd fret. Our third finger on the 3rd string, 2nd fret, right underneath it. almost like an E minor chord, and then we add our first string right here, second string, first fret. Okay, that's our A minor, and then we need to add that G in there right here. Okay, and this is kind of a tough chord because you tend to, you know, this fifth string right here is being covered, so it's kind of a tough chord to play because you got to try to get all those strings to where you don't hear them, you know. And if your pinky's not really developed, it's hard to play that chord, okay? But it's kind of like a passing tone in this particular instance. So if you were doing that song, like I said, that CCR song, C, E, A minor to the G, then it drops to the F, and then back to the C. Okay? But we're basically just trying to show you what it means when you see that slash other letter, okay? So that's a pretty popular one, the C slash B, meaning you add the B, and then you move on to the next chord, whatever chord that would be. In this particular instance, the A minor. See, that's a good progression that you can work on right there. Your C, add B, and then your A minor. And then maybe you could put your pinky up here for the G. So C, and then if you want to get tricky, come down here to the F. Hold that for 2. Okay. So that's just something that you can kind of work on, a little exercise you can work on, okay? Now another thing that's really popular in rock guitar, another chord with a slash and another letter is the D slash F sharp, okay? Our F sharp is right here at the 2nd fret, okay? And like I said, if you don't know your notes, I highly recommend you learn them because it makes a world of difference. Our D is down here. Now we think, well, how can we play that note with the D? Well, we'll have to do it with our thumb. Okay, so get that thumb involved because that makes a difference too. So right there, now we have our D chord with the F sharp over the top. Now remember that note that comes after the slash, after the forward slash, is usually going to be a bass note. Played off the 6th string or the 5th string, usually one of these, okay? So if you're playing like a C slash G, here's your G right here that we talked about a second ago. It would be like that. It would be C with the G over the top. Just gives it kind of a little bit of more of a bassier tone. So you could, if you add it with the chord, you get a little bit of a more of a bassier tone, or you could add it to the chord after you play it. Kind of gives it just a little bit more bassier tone to it, okay? Or let's say you're playing an F slash C. Well, if you're playing an F, there's the C right here, so you'd have to get your pinky involved and play the C with the chord. Gives it a little bit more of a bottom end, okay? And once again, get your notes down, know your notes. Very, very important for this kind of stuff, all right? So, let's review once again. We got our C with the B over the top, okay? C slash B, that's that note right there. Okay, that's the first one. The second one we talked about was the A minor with the G. Okay, third one we talked about was the D with the F sharp over the top. That's really popular with like AC/DC. A lot of times they play that chord in their songs, you know, like Highway to Hell. Okay, so they're real popular with that. So if you can get that thumb over the top, you know, that's what that means, all right? And then we did another one here. The other one we did was that 4th one. We did the C slash G, where we add that G note in there. And the other one could be the F, had the C. Okay, and there's all kinds of these types of chords in guitar. So I just wanted to show you what it means when you see it. So that way when you're looking at a songbook, or you're looking at some chord charts, or you're looking at some tabs on the internet, you'll understand what it means, okay? All right, so there you have it. How to understand reading chords with the slash and then the number and the letter after it, okay? And there's all kinds of them. You just got to kind of know, you know, what they mean. And once you understand what it means, then, you know, you got the mystery figured out. You just got to know your notes though, okay? So you know where those notes are to add to the chord, okay? It's just kind of like a chord embellishment kind of thing that you add to, okay? So be sure to work on that. Make sure you practice every day. And if you have any questions, feel free to let me know in the comments below. If there's anything you're working on, let me know. I'd be appreciated. And if you like the video, give me a thumbs up. If you don't like the video, give me a thumbs down. That's all right too. And hopefully there's no thumbs down, but you know what I mean. And be sure to subscribe to the channel and click the bell for future notifications. And be sure to check out my website at dwaynesguitarlessons.com, where you can join my email guitar club, where you'll receive all kinds of really good training tips through your email if you're interested in that, okay? And you can find that at my website at dwaynesguitarlessons.com, okay? So thank you very much for watching, and until our next lesson, take care.